We don't talk to defense too much in this draft. It's an
Yeah,
outrage.
It's been a lot of quarterback talk.
It's time we had Kwity Paye for my alma mater. And let's stay in the Big Ten right here. Because this guy can hit you. This guy can thump. We all saw the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yeah, we're talking about Mike Evans, Godwin, Gronk, Antonio Brown, Brady. I've heard of him. Who are some of the stars of that team that actually brought it home? Levante David, Devin White. Guys in the middle of that thump. And from the Penn State University football program, Micah Parsons here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Micah?
I'm good, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing better for talking to you. Are you going to bring the thunder in this conversation, Micah?
You know it.
You only know one speed, I imagine.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you could come down and you could fill that gap and hit the conversation. I would think so, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good. Good talking to you. No, I'm just kidding. Welcome to the show, sir. So what was your 2020 season like as you were one of the handful of big-time players who opted out of the season? What was that
Man, it
like?
was full of work and film work. You know, we was grinding every day, watching college football and watching NFL. So I think this is like the most I ever watched football during the football season.
What were you watching? What film were you watching?
I was watching my Penn State film, of course, and then obviously I watched some of my favorite linebackers play a lot more this year. You know, I got to watch, Devin White play, like as you were saying. I got to watch Tremaine Edmonds. I got to watch Devin Bush before he tore his ACL, So guys like that, guys that I think I can relate to.
So are you as good as those guys?
I'm not going to sit here and say that, but, I think I got the potential to be as good or better.
And so, why? Why do you feel that way? I'd love to hear this sort of stuff. Go for it.
I just think I'm going to bring that competitive edge. I got a lot of dog to me. I'm going to go get it regardless, and I think I can achieve anything. I'm going to put it with the work in. And, I got all the tangibles or even more tangibles than they got. So for me to sit here and say that I don't got it, which is false, I know that I got it. I just got to do it myself and go compete at the next level.
Have you always played defense, or are you one of the many top linebackers who have, I guess, started out as a running back on the other side of the hole, trying to fill a gap?
Yeah, I started as a running back. I did everything. Man, my senior year, I was the kicker, the punter, the running back, the linebacker, the defensive end. I did everything.
So who was your guy growing up? Who was your favorite NFL player growing up? Micah Parsons.
My favorite NFL player growing up, man, it might have had to be when I was younger, I was a big LT guy. And then I'm gonna say it went into like, Randy Moss. So I kinda I'm just stay with Randy because I always watch him, he's like, I don't need to warm up. So I always had that mentality. I'm coming game ready.
Okay, I like that. And I ask this question at the risk of being older than the actual 51 years I am on this planet. When you say LT, you mean LaDainian Tomlinson and not Lawrence Taylor, right, Micah?
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy. There was an LT before Tomlinson, and he plays a similar level of football, I mean, in terms of 3 levels of defense that you do, right, Micah?
Of course.
Okay, just want to make I had to ask. I just really had to ask. And I love the way you're like, of course. I love it. So who was your favorite defensive player growing up?
My favorite defensive player, I love Ray. Ray was a monster. And then, obviously before he retired, I love Luke. Luke Kuechly was just different.
No doubt about that. Have you ever had a conversation with Ray Lewis, Micah Parsons?
No, never.
Would you like to have a conversation with Ray Lewis, Micah Parsons?
Of course.
Okay. There's another, of course. I will do this. I will hook you guys up. How does that sound?
Sounds terrific.
It would be my pleasure to do that because he knows that position and he knows about what beats inside and he knows about how that position and what beats inside is the heartbeat potentially for an entire team, an organization. Like you can lead from that spot for not just the men around you in the huddle, but for every single human being that puts on a uniform that day or comes to work in that building. That's a fact.
A fact. He was one of the greatest leaders and greatest players to ever do it.
Okay. Micah Parsons here on the Rich Eisen Show. Who have you spoken to, sir? Who have you had Zoom conversations with?
I had Zooms with Every team.
All 32?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And who did you feel like you got, a vibe that they're interested in you and going to take you?
I would say I had really good calls with the Dolphins, the really good calls with the Raiders, the Lions, the Giants, Denver, Dallas. So I think those teams I had really good Zoom calls with.
Okay, I've got the head coach of the Lions coming on in 13 minutes, and Dan Campbell. Was he on that Zoom with you?
Yeah, he was on one of the Zooms.
Okay, what'd you like about that conversation? Where you had a good feeling?
I think we all got the same mission, same game plan, same type of mentality, same work ethic, what we want out of a coach and player.
And did you talk to the Eagles? Just a young man
I did.
You did?
I did.
From Harrisburg, PA, and Penn State University to you could kind of like make your way east to play your professional football,
Yeah, I could.
What do you think about that idea?
I think it's a great idea, great opportunity. Obviously be able to stay close to home. I always love that. And, a chance to keep networking and building on my East Coast. Okay.
And were you one of the prospects that Nick Sirianni and the Eagles played rock, paper, scissors with over the Zoom?
No, I wasn't.
You were not. What would you?
I think he's pretty lucky because I would have beat him.
Okay, Micah, let's do this right now here on the Rich Eisen Show. I'm assuming you're not watching on Peacock right now, correct? You don't see me. We're just having this conversation, right? All right, I am holding out right now either a rock, paper, or scissor. So this is my way of doing it. On the count of 3, you say yours, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Paper.
All right, we're even.
Ooh, tie.
Here we go. Next up, Micah, I'm going to hold out once again right here on the show. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, go.
Paper.
I have it again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Rock.
Oh! I had a scissor. You got me. You got me. Okay.
Yes, sir.
See, you're a thinker in the middle of that defense. You've got the neck up right there. I could see that.
Yeah, you got to think a little bit ahead,
I do. Because I thought you were going rock right out of the gate. I did that with Penei Sewell, and you went rock like right out of the gate. I'm like, come on now.
I thought about that, but I thought you would go paper. So I was like, let me just step back for a second.
Why do I come across as a paper guy to you? What is that? What do you mean?
I think when you say rock, paper, scissors, shoot, get burned in your brain like, oh, you got to think rock.
That's what I would think. Like somebody from the middle of the defense. You're the rock of the defense. You can be rolled downhill and hit somebody. That's what I thought. That's why I went paper. That's because I wanted to win. I see your competitive spirit. I think you all just outthought me. They're very well done, Micah Parsons. You're an NFL prospect. I'll tell you that. You're on it. I like it. Fantastic. So you're going to the draft, correct? Are you going to be in Ohio for the draft?
Yes, sir.
Who's coming with you? Tell me about your family.
My mom, my brother, my sister, my son.
How old is your son?
My son is about to turn 3 May 1st.
Oh my gosh. What's his name?
Malcolm.
I mean, 3 is just right on the edge. It might have a nice little memory of this for quite some time to come. What's that going to mean for you to be surrounded by that group of people, to have the dream of being drafted into the NFL realized, Micah?
For me, it's going to mean everything. It's going to mean so much to me because, I feel like as a player and as a person, growing up where I grew up, I just went through so much adversity, so much, trials and tribulations, so many, do's and don'ts. And this is going to be, my first time of ever feeling all the hard work I put in and, just to get here has finally paid off. And, I could finally take care of my parents, and it just be able to change the whole generation of my family, and really just bring up, I would say, and it's just an uplift to my community, just to show people, we can do things bigger than ourselves and, give back. So for me, it's so much bigger than me. That's why I always kind of preach Harrisburg, PA, just so people know where I come from. And, know that, we come from Harrisburg, we come from a small city. We kind of all rallied together because, not a lot of people make it out of here. And I feel like I was kind of an outlier. So, you know, to make it out where I came from and be in this position is, like, amazing.
Can you walk me through some of the trials and tribulations you're referring to that you're willing to share with us right now?
Yeah, man. Like, you know, I feel like growing up, I dealt with, like, a lot of failure and, you know, struggling with, like, school. You know, obviously coming from a different type of school and then transferring to Central Dauphin. And, you know, I was, like, used to kind of, like, make excuses and, like, you know, until, like, one time I was just like, you know what, like, I got to figure it out. Like, I can't keep going this path because, like, I always said, like, I wanted to be a football player. Like, that's something I always known and wanted to do, but I needed something else, you know, to make me, like, you know, I needed school, and I realized that, and, you know, I went from, like, a struggling person to, like, I was like, you know what, I'm going to put the work in, and I'm going to find a way, and I'm going to, you know, graduate, I'm going to, you know, get my GPA up, and I'm gonna find a way to make this happen for myself and my family. So, and, you know, I wanted to prove everyone wrong. Nobody believed that I could do it. So, you know, for me to do that, it was, like, crazy. And I think that's why, like, when I went to college, like, I made this mindset that I was going to graduate and I was going to do all these big things because I felt like I had this chip on my shoulder that I wanted to be, like, more than just an athlete. And I did that.
Your mom must be out of her mind right now. 6 days to go.
Yeah,
here.
she, like, when I graduated college,
Mm-hmm.
like, tears came to her eyes, and it sucked because it was over Zoom,
Right.
and I wasn't with her, but, like, you know, to see her smile and saw that, you know, I got my degree for her. She was, like, the happiest person in the world, and, like, that's, like, my best friend. So when it come to her, I'd do anything to make her happy.
What's her name?
Micah Parsons.
Okay. So Charisse is going to have her moment because it's her moment as much as it is yours on Thursday night. I cannot wait to see that. I'll be on the draft set, and I will be enjoying that for you and your family, Micah. Congratulations in advance.
Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it. Are you opening up all those checks that's going to start coming in right now? Is that what you've been doing during this entire conversation? It sounds like you're ripping open envelopes of all of these companies that want to hire you to be their face-front individual as a spokesman, as somebody who's going to be coming downhill for them too. Is that what you're doing right now?
I wish I had some checks in my hand.
Well, it's coming. I'll tell you that. It's on the way. I look forward to seeing you and your family on Thursday night, Micah, and I look forward to chatting with you down the line. If this is your cell phone, I wrote it down because I could see the caller ID. I'm going to hook you up with Ray Lewis as a thank you for being on this show.
Hey, I appreciate it, and, you know, I really appreciate you for making that connection, having me on your show, and, you know, when you see me, make sure you stop by and say hello.
I will do that. You got it. You take care of yourself, Micah Parsons. We'll see you in Ohio.
Yes, sir. See you in Ohio.
You got it. That is Micah Parsons. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.